Abby DeNaro from DeNaro Chiropractic, and now we've met.
Hey everybody, my name is Larry Buck, and I'm with the North Reading Rifle Club, and now we've met.
I'm Ava Harrington. I work with Our Climate to fight climate change, and now we've met.
Hi, I'm Colleen Perry with Brisonte Gibson Home Decor, located on Main Street in North Reading, and now we've met.
Hello and welcome to Now We've Met. I'm your host, Matt Ligor. On this show, we're going to be interviewing our neighbors, parts of our community, whether they be business owners or people who are up to something and they'd like to share it, and we'd like to get to know them. So today on the show, I have for my guest, Abby DeNaro of DeNaro Chiropractic. Abby, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So you own a business in North Reading.
I do.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So it's DeNaro Chiropractic. We are going on 6 years this year of being in business in North Reading. Mm-hmm. We're located at 350 Park Street in North Reading. Having a ton of fun working with all different kinds of people from all ages, from newborns to grandparents and everything in between. My specialty is with pregnant women and pediatrics. So we have a lot of fun with them, get to watch the moms go through the whole 9 months and watch them change and grow and have the baby, and then we work on the babies too.
That is an excellent way to build your business.
It certainly is.
I saw a thing on CBS Sunday Morning, and they were talking about rural hospitals, and one of the problems is it's very hard for them to survive. And one of the things they talked about is that every hospital started like a pediatrics ward, so that they could build their customer base from infancy on. So you are right on track. That's excellent. So you're a young woman. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 31.
31 years old. Okay, congratulations. That's an excellent accomplishment.
Thank you.
To be a doctor and have your own business and be doing well. You're a lifelong North Reading resident, right?
I am. Yep. Yeah. Grew up in North Reading, started the practice in North Reading, just moved back to North Reading, so I am officially a townie.
Okay. Were you born here? Were you born here?
I was actually born in Natick.
Natick, yeah. And when did you move here?
We moved here when I was in middle school.
Okay.
So.
All right. So
it's basically what I've known most of my life.
So the developmental years of your life.
Yes.
You lived here. Okay.
Yep.
And how did you get into chiropractic?
Well, that was my own health journey, is how I found chiropractic. It started with my jaw. I had braces on my teeth when I was younger. Mm-hmm. The day I got my braces taken off, I was walking out of the dentist office and I couldn't really open my mouth. I had pain, couldn't chew a lot of different foods, headaches every single day. So my parents were great. They took me for 2 years trying to solve this problem with different dentists and retainers and all kinds of stuff, and nothing worked. Finally, I went to a chiropractor. It took 2 weeks, and all my pain was gone. My jaw functioned the way it's supposed to. All my headaches were gone. So life was back to normal. So at that point, I knew that it was really something special. And it just stuck with me. So then when it was time to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, it was a no-brainer.
Oh, really? So you had the experience of a problem.
Yep.
You had it resolved, and you said, "I like this," huh?
Yep.
So how old were you again when that happened?
I was, 13 maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky. You know why? Because it's great to know what you want when you're like a kid, and then you fulfilled it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yep. So I went to UMass Lowell for my undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
And then chiropractic school out west in California, and everybody says, why did you come back to North Reading when you were out in San Francisco area? But I missed it here. Yeah. And my family's here and all my friends and everything. Mm-hmm. So I was ready to come back.
Well, I'm one of your customers, and I will give you a great testimonial.
Oh,
you do an excellent job. You make a big difference for me and my whole family. My whole family comes to see you. So give us one recommendation for a healthy, straight spine.
Oh, boy.
Besides going to you, what else would you say,
So we usually think of good posture as just sitting up straight, so like lengthwise, head to toe. However, we don't usually think about posture being side to side, left and right. And that's usually where a lot of the problems come from what I find. Sitting cross-legged is not symmetrical. If you're standing in line at the grocery store just waiting, usually more weight will be on one hip than the other.
Yeah.
I do work with a lot of moms, so they're carrying the baby on one hip and not the other. So really just trying as much as you can. It's impossible to have perfect posture all the time. It's just not going to happen. But when you can think of it, try to be balanced side to side. So if you're just lounging on the couch, instead of like sitting on one leg like this, try to just sit nice and square for as long as you can.
Our mothers told us that. Sit up straight.
They were right.
All right, so excellent. So where are you located again? Just say that again.
I am at 350 Park Street.
Yep. Okay, 350 Park Street. That's right near Eastgate Liquors,
Yeah,
right at the
yep.
intersection there across from the
Lobster
funeral
Claw,
home. Yeah,
that
Lobster
whole
Claw.
area, yeah.
Do you offer any other services besides just chiropractic?
Yeah, so I do cupping as well,
Yep.
which cupping has been around for ages, but it really became pretty popular with Michael Phelps,
Yep.
the swimmer. One of the Olympics, he had those spots all over his shoulders
Yeah, I
and his
remember,
back
yeah,
and everything. So that really brought cupping to light for health and wellness. That's been really helpful for my patients, just to help work out some of the kinks, the knots in the muscles. It's really for muscle tension and getting proper blood flowing through all the muscles so they can move and function better. People get a lot better range of motion after we do a session. It's similar to a deep tissue massage. It's kind of the opposite of a massage, really. But the results are pretty similar.
Okay.
And then recently we got an infrared sauna as well in the office. So that is also something that has become really popular in health and wellness recently as well.
What does that do?
So it's different than a regular sauna. When you sit in a regular sauna, it's the air that's warm and that makes you warm. So it heats up your skin, you start to sweat, and that's how a regular sauna works. The infrared sauna, targets objects rather than the air. So the air does feel warm, but it's really just warming you up. It kind of sounds like a microwave, but it's not. It basically heats deep in the muscles and the joints first. And then as your body gets warm, then you start to sweat because then it starts to heat up the skin. So you actually don't sweat that much in the infrared sauna. It gets up to 150 degrees, so you think you'd be like profusely sweating. But it takes about 20 minutes to start to break a sweat in there. So it's really great for muscle aches, muscle pains, post-workout recovery, good for the joints. So a lot of people with arthritis, even autoimmune type joint issues, find a lot of relief with that. Fibromyalgia is really good. But of course, some people just want to do it for a detox. It's helpful for weight loss too. Just kind of cleansing the system. It's a much better detox than just an infrared, than just a regular sauna.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, people love it. It's been really popular.
Do you have a website?
I sure do. It is DeNaroChiropractic.com.
Excellent. Okay, and then everybody can see all the services and everything.
Yeah, you can see the services. You can book right online. It's really pretty easy.
Yeah, that's actually really excellent. That scheduling you have.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to go in there and see and kind of book your own appointment.
Yeah,
So
you know, I
nice.
did it because I always find that I'm more inclined to do things if I can just do it from home and compare my schedule with their schedule rather than being on the phone and going back and forth trying to find a time. So yeah, it's easy.
All right. All right, Abby, thank you for
Thank
being on the
you.
show, and thank you for being such a good chiropractor and a good guest. All right, we'll see you. I'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good.
Hello and welcome to Now We've Met, a local show we're doing here in North Reading so we can get to know our neighbors and businesses a little bit better. On the show we're going to have people who are business owners, maybe people who are members of clubs, or you name it. But the bottom line is we're going to get to know each other a little bit better. And today we have on the show Larry Buck from the North Reading Rifle Club. Larry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matt. Pleasure to be here.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit about the club, where it is, how long it's been here, and maybe a little history.
North Reading Rifle Club is at 242 Central Street, just on the back side of the Hillview. I believe we've been here as a club since 1948. Some of the members of World War II came back, needed a place to continue to exercise some of the skills they learned in combat, and they built the club, I think 1948, as a 501c3 nonprofit. I've been a member of the club since 96, I believe. Off and on, I can't say I've been steady. I haven't been steady, but I started back in 1996. Nice place.
What's your role with the club now?
My role, I'm an interested party, I guess. I spend a lot of time there, so that's enough for them to call me up and say, hey, do you want to come and do this with Matt? Other than that, I have no role.
Okay, so you're a member who does a little promotion.
A little promotion. I am also one of the instructors there, so the firearm safety class that comes up a couple of times a year, I'm a face that you'll see there helping out.
So these gun clubs, is that how they started? They started from vets from after World War II?
This particular one
did, yeah. Okay.
Something I haven't looked into as far as if that's the way they all started, but I think generally speaking, yeah, I think that's it.
It's funny, a lot of the clubs like that, motorcycle gangs and everything, those things started mostly from World War II veterans who loved the camaraderie, the skills they had, and they wanted to further it, you know. So it's kind of interesting how these things, now they've transcended, we're talking 60, 70 years since World War II, you know.
Yeah.
So what can we expect down at the gun club? Obviously a place to shoot, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It is only an indoor range now. We used to have an outdoor range. We had trap and skeet. But over time, of course, the community grows in on the club, and at some point, the community doesn't think that it's that safe to have us so close. And so I think over time, we gave into the pressure and stopped the outside activity, sold off some of the land, and so now it's just indoor. But nice indoor range.
Is there any chance there's going to be outdoor stuff ever again?
Not here.
Not here, somewhere else, yeah.
No.
Because I know some other clubs do have a lot of outdoor.
They do.
But they usually have a very big facility too.
They do, yeah.
On a
We
lot of
are
land.
2.5 acres, I think, right now. Not enough to have
right.
an outside thing.
So if I wanted to get a gun permit, what would I do?
You'd contact us and
And how would I do that?
come down for a class. Dick Morissette is still our president, and he lives in Wilmington. You'd give him a call and say, Dick, I'd like to come to the next firearm safety class, which in this case is Wednesday, March 20th and March 27th. 2 classes for the same permit. So you'd come on one day for the classroom, and you come on the second day for live fire.
Okay. So when I get a permit, what first of all, what should I expect? How long should I expect to be there? What do I need to get it done? Do I need $100? Do I need a license? What do I need if I want to get a permit? Because that's something that I want.
Yes. You need $100 for the 2 nights. As far as what you need, I don't know that we've ever asked to see anybody's driver's license. I think we just need them to come. There's an application that you'd fill out. It will have all of your information in it. That information is put on the certificate that you get. You'll bring that certificate down to your local police department and fill out an application there. At that point, they'll want some information from you because they'll run an FBI background check on you, among other things.
Okay. So the permit is the permit, or I should say the training is just the training. To get the permit, you have to go through the local
PD,
police department, and
absolutely.
that's when the background and everything's done.
Correct.
So what about the club? Is there anything special about the club other than, you know, it's a place to shoot? I mean, is it a place to hang out? Is it a place to have like some camaraderie and make some friends?
There's a lot of camaraderie down there, yes, and it's a good place to make friends. Hanging out, we don't have a clubhouse kind of a thing so much where you have a couch and a fireplace, that kind of thing. We don't have that. So basically, we have a classroom. We have 2 pistol teams, actually. So a lot of good camaraderie there. We belong to the Greater Boston Pistol League, and we belong to the Merrimack Valley Pistol League. So from October to April, every Monday and Tuesday night, for the most part, the teams will shoot. And people joining the club are welcome to join the team. we're looking for new members always.
Okay.
So
All right. How many members do we have in the club now?
I'm not sure. I think 125 or so we have.
Yeah.
It's low. So if you're looking for a place to shoot and you like the privacy, chances are if you go there, you won't meet anybody, which is good. Then you can work on whatever it is you want to work on without being interrupted.
So what do you get? Like a key card? You come in, you can go in, shoot, take care of business, and go home?
Exactly that, yes.
Yeah. Now, what if I want a little bit of like training? All right, say I get my permit, I buy a gun, but you know, shooting a gun is hard. I mean, it's not just bang bang, right? And it's like to be like skilled at it. All right, is there beyond just the initial training? Is there more? Could I get more training?
Well, you're right. There's a lot to know about that, and yes, you can. We've thought about having some formal classes there. There are a few of us that have a lot more training other than just the training required to teach the safety class. Right now, if you wanted to do that, you'd get a hold of one of the members and arrange to have them meet you there and spend some time with you. We're all volunteers, so whatever we agree on for a price for that is 100% donation to the club, and we volunteer our time to help. But yes, we can help you with quite a bit, actually, that way.
Is there anything else besides, you said they got a couple classes coming up on the 20th and the 27th. That would be like firearms training, right? To be able to apply for a permit.
Correct.
Is there any other things going on in the club that you'd like to tell us about?
Just the two pistol teams that we have, but other than that, we don't have anything going on. We've thought about it. The thing that we seem to come up in discussion is if we put on an event, then it ties up the club. So up until now, we've just tried to balance making sure it's available for people whenever they decide to come. So it's just the firearm safety class twice a year. We have thought about having a class on mass law. We did that at one time. We had John Green from Gun Owners Action League come up, does a great job on Massachusetts law. We've thought about some other things that would benefit the community, conflict resolution, suicide awareness, things like that. We haven't gotten to the point where we've actually set that up, but we're discussing it.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that earlier. It sounded like you got some stuff in the works. Is there a website or anything for the gun club?
NorthReadingRifleClub.org, so NRRClub.org.
All right, we'll put that up on the screen so people can check it out.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right, that's awesome. So I think I'm going to look into. So if I go to the website, can I apply to be for one of those classes?
Yes.
Or do I have to talk to somebody?
Well, you'll talk to somebody, but on the website you'll find Dick's phone number, contact information there. I believe there's an email address there as well, so call or email. Dick's pretty good about getting back to folks. He does it fairly quickly.
All right. One other question. I know some clubs will rent guns to you.
We don't have that.
Okay, nothing like that. Right. So you got to bring your own gun.
Yes.
All right.
If you want to be a member of the club, you'll need to have your Massachusetts license to carry in order to come down and shoot. Also, membership in Goal and the NRA. We support those organizations, so all of our members are also members of that. If a club were to have guns to rent, it would change the status of the club, and we haven't done that.
Okay.
So it's just simply a club to shoot.
All right, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
It's good.
All right, Larry, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for telling us about the North Reading Gun Club.
Matt, thank you for having me. I
You're
really
welcome.
enjoyed the conversation.
All right,
It's a pleasure
excellent.
to be here. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Now We've Met. I'm your host, Matt Ligor, and we're going to be interviewing and talking to residents of North Reading who have businesses or who have other activities that they're into or activists. And today we have our guest, Ava Harrington, and she's with Our Climate. Ava, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit what you're up to, what you're doing?
So I work with Our Climate, which is a youth-based organization that fights for science-based, equitable carbon pricing policy. So we've been doing all sorts of stuff. In January, we held a lobby day at the Massachusetts State House, and we got to talk with lots of representatives about a bill called Benson's Bill, which is a carbon pricing bill. And we're organizing another one of those for April 9th. And besides that, we've been doing some other stuff. We get in touch with lots of legislators, so I've had a meeting with Brad Jones, our local North Reading House of Representatives So I've met with him, and we're working on an art project as well. We're working on climate mosaic to show, you know, that youth across Massachusetts are really invested in this issue.
Now, is this mosaic going to go somewhere in North Reading?
No, it's actually going to be in front of the State House.
Oh, okay. All right. And is it going to be permanently there?
No, it'll just be there for the day.
Just
to
for the day,
showcase
okay. All right.
Our
So
passion.
you're a North Reading resident, right? You've lived here, you said, since you've been about 2 years old, right?
Yeah,
You're a young lady. You're 17 years old. Well, I think it's very admirable that you care like
Thank
you do. A
you.
lot of 17-year-olds really, I mean, you probably do it too, but they spend a lot of time on Snapchat
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Instagram and everything. You probably
Yeah.
do that, but
Yeah.
you know, you also have a cause. What got you into this?
Well, I've always loved biology. I've always been really fascinated by biology, and I would have biology classes where teachers would say, hey, this is an important issue, this is what's happening, and that was it. And they would just drop it, and I'm like, well, there must be something I can do. You know, I can't just listen to all of this and then just sit here and be like, okay, that's too bad. So I started looking around, I started getting involved, and a teacher who used to be involved, who used to teach at my school, Phillips Exeter, he reached out to some Exeter students and was like, hey, is anyone really interested in getting involved with this organization called Our Climate? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So I've hopped in with these guys and I've been working with them since December. And I've been, you know, doing all sorts of stuff. I've been reaching out to different organizations, different schools. We reached out to the Winthrop superintendent recently. So I've been doing lots of stuff with them. But I think I got involved really because this is such an important issue. It's really hard for me to sit back and think, this is my future, I'm not going to do anything about it. You know, I can't sit there and do that. And I'm noticing that there's a lot of youth getting involved in this issue now, all across the world. So that's really exciting, and I think there's a lot of young people who are starting to feel this way.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us now, we live in North Reading. A lot of people here, you know, hey, you should do this, you should do that. What's one thing the average person can do to make a difference?
Oh my
That's
gosh.
simple.
There's so much. Reach out to your representatives. That is
Yeah.
the most impactful, most important, best thing that you can do. Just reach out to your representatives. Brad Jones is a really important member of the House of Representatives right now because he's the minority leader and he's a very key figure, but there's all sorts of other people you can reach out to. And just,
What should we say though?
oh my gosh. Well, I think he needs to know that this is important to us.
Yeah.
And I think that he needs to know that this is important to our future and that he should be supporting carbon pricing bills and other bills that will help us reach the goals we need to reach. Because Massachusetts is set to be completely independent from fossil fuels by 2090. But that's too late. That's way too far along. We'll already have a lot of you know, the UN has recently said that we have 12 years to reverse what we've been doing before this will have some extreme consequences. So I think we really need to convey to him and to our representatives the sense of urgency. We really need to convey that we need to do this right now. We can't do it next session. We can't do it later down the line. We have to do this right now, and that we will vote in the way that towards people who express this urgency.
Now, what would you say? Okay, that's good advice. Now, what would you say that you could do, like on a local level,
Sure.
just like you could do in your everyday life, maybe even?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, small things, recycling, making sure to know, you know, what's, you know, trying to be environmentally conscious, whether that be at the grocery store, asking for reusable or purchasing a reusable bag, or whether that be something a little more, you know, an investment like an electric car. Those are all things that are really helpful and really important that you can do right now. And it's really about the purchases you make and the power that we have as consumers, especially in the local community, and just getting other community members involved and speaking about this are all really helpful.
All right, so
things
you
that
think I
North
should
Reading-
buy a Tesla then, is what you're saying,
Well,
right?
yeah, you don't have to go that far, but, you know.
Well, my cousin, she has a Tesla and her husband has a
Really?
Tesla.
Oh my gosh.
They're pretty awesome cars.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if you can afford a Tesla, you know, you should get a Tesla. But you don't have to do that. There's
Yeah.
so much. There's so many other things too. Like there's a school strike coming up March 15th, which unfortunately I'll be on break. But for all the young people, if they don't go to school for a day and they say this is more our future is important, because school is for our future, but climate change is also going to be our future. So if students step out of class and say, look, this is my future, this is what's important, I think that will have a really big impact too. So for the young people, I would say, start talking with your classmates, start doing the things that you can do. Use your influence as a young person to say, this is important to me right now, because we're the generation that will be most impacted by this.
Yeah, you will, and you're the generation to do something too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny. I remember when I was your age, I was considered Generation X, and and you're considered a millennial, right?
Gen Z, I think it is.
Gen
now.
Z. Oh,
yeah.
so you're even beyond millennial.
Yeah, younger than millennials.
Okay,
Yeah,
and they always said, Generation X, they're lazy. They'll never do anything. But what they do, Generation X basically created, the internet and the technology of today. Now, your generation, your job is to go in and clean up the environment for the future, right? For future generations.
Yeah, it's too bad that we've been handed this, but at the same time, I'm hopeful that we can do this. I'm nervous, but I'm also hopeful because I've seen so many people who are excited, and to get more young people involved would just be amazing. There's a young woman in Sweden right now. Her name's Greta Thunberg, I believe, and she's 16 years old, and she's already out there. She's been organizing these school strikes since last August, and she's really important and just such an amazing person. So
do you know who Boken Slat is?
I don't.
Yeah, he's the one who is taking charge of cleaning the oceans.
Oh, okay.
And he engineered these different systems that will filter the plastic.
Wow.
And they're doing now they have the prototypes in the ocean right now.
Wow.
So, and he started just like, I think he was a little younger than you. He was about 16, and he was moved by something, and he came up with an idea, and he took it to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, we're living in such a technological era, and we're living in the age of social media and communication, so I don't see why we wouldn't take those tools that we've been given. I'm always told, like, oh, young people know how to use these best, so I don't see why we wouldn't take those and do what we can with them. Well,
I think it's excellent that a young person like yourself cares enough. It's not, you don't just, obviously you care about yourself, but you care about the world too. That's very admirable.
Thank you.
Your parents did a good job raising you. They really did.
Thank you.
Because it's obvious that when a young person steps in, you can tell what kind of parents they have. So your parents did a good job.
They'll be glad to hear that. Yeah.
Well, I'm a parent. I have 3 daughters.
Really?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Really?
29.
Tell them to get involved.
I will. I have one who's 29. I have one who's 15, and one who's 11.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So they're. What did you say you were? Generation what?
Z.
Generation Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Ava. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you on the show. Hello, I'm Matt Ligor, and we're going to be starting a new show here in North Reading called Now We've Met. And we're going to be interviewing business owners and people who live in North Reading who you may or may not know, but now we're going to do it so you can say, now we've met. And our first guest today is Colleen Perry from Brisonte on Main Street in North Reading.
Correct.
Colleen, welcome to the show.
Hi, Matt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Why don't you tell us what, did I say the name of your business correctly?
You did.
Okay, why don't you tell us what you do and what you specialize in?
Well, Brisonte is a sweet little store in North Reading, and we specialize in gifts and home decor. We're also a stockist for chalk paint by Annie Sloan. So we do a lot of home decor. We do a lot of really cute gifts. You can come in and pick something up really simple or something very complicated. We'll help you with the decorating process. We also do workshops. So you can come in and we'll teach you how to use chalk paint. We'll walk you through the process. And then we also do parties in the evening if people wanted to come, sign up and do, say, a sign workshop or a trade workshop.
No kidding. That's so funny you just said that because I did one of those this weekend.
Uh-oh.
My brother-in-law gave me a gift certificate for the family to go to, they called it a board and brush, and we made a sign.
Oh, did you? You did a sign?
I did a sign, yeah.
Did you like the way it came out?
I did. I loved the way it came out.
Oh,
and
very nice.
it was very fun. The whole family did it. My wife, my 2 girls.
Oh, excellent.
Right? And so you do that too?
Yes, we do, yeah. We have a lot of fun.
Oh, it was. It was a great time. When I got the gift, I was like, why does he give me these weird gifts? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have that attitude. I want to try something new.
Yeah.
So you must make a lot of friends.
I think so. We have a lot of fun because a group of ladies will come in. We can accommodate up to anywhere from 4 to probably 24 in our new space. And we just all sit down and We have beverages, and we non-alcoholic. I don't want anyone to think we're teetotaling down there. And we just have a good time. We really do.
Okay, so no, it's not a speakeasy.
No.
Okay, all right, we
No.
got that out of the way.
No.
Clear, that's clear. So, okay, so you say home decor. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, we do a lot of vintage. I'm really interested in finding one-of-a-kind things that
Yeah.
are unique. I'll look for vintage architectural pieces that are just throwaway things, and we'll paint them and make them really pretty. We have frames and artwork, lighting, so we have a lot of chandeliers, buffet lamps, a lot of signs, a lot of table runners, pillows. Not too much bedding, though. We don't get into that. But a lot of just really lovely things that are accents for your home.
So if I came to you and I said, Colleen, I wanna give my house a little character, would you come over?
I could, yes,
yeah.
I definitely could come to your home.
Or would I come to your store and would you show me a catalog, or would you say, well, what are you interested in? What's your style?
Good point. No, usually what I'll tell people is to help me help them. Bring in some photographs of the space you're interested in decorating. If you can, bring in paint swatches, even some fabrics, even if it's a pillow from the couch, maybe some pictures of the rugs, and generally the area that you want to lift up a little bit, so that now I know what you're looking for and I can help you with colors, with choices. Like for instance, if it's a mantle that you want to decorate, I can help you find pieces and arrange them so that the mantle looks lovely for you.
Oh, that's nice, yeah. Because a mantle can kind of be like a
It can be
plain Jane,
tricky.
and you don't know what to do with it, and you stick stuff on it, it looks awful.
Yep.
Or it can look good, but most of the time it looks kind of awful.
Yeah, it can be tricky, but we can help you with that. And you don't have to buy everything from us. We can use pieces that you have existing in your home and then add other key elements to it that really make it look lovely.
How did you get into this?
I've always loved decorating. I've always loved sales. I tell the story, I was a little girl. I couldn't have been more than 10 years old. My grandfather said to me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to own a store. And I remember him saying to me, what are you going to call it? And I said, Hearts. And he said, why would you name it Hearts? And as a child, you don't understand what's going through your mind, but it's something I've always wanted. So my father and I started an antique business. We would do shows. Then I worked in antique cooperatives. And then my father and mother and I opened a store in Andover called the Brass Ring. So we did that for 5 years. And then I owned another store. And then now this one.
Really?
So they call it the retail parasite. And I think I have it bad.
So the retail parasite is when you get bit and you can't stop. So
No.
like you need to have that location and that interaction.
Very much so. And there's this creative element behind this that really feeds my soul. So when you come into the store, you're going to be, it's just different because it's arranged beautifully, it's merchandised beautifully, so that when you come through, you can get a feel for what it would look like in your home. It's not just plunked down on a shelf and then you have a lot of thinking to do. You can actually see how these elements can work in your home.
Interesting. So that's nice because there is something, especially, it's nice to have someone come in and decorate and you can look at it and go, oh, that looks good.
Right.
And then there's something even better when you've done some of the work
Yeah.
yourself. Because there's a lot of pride in holding that creation really out of something simple. I mean, you're talking about some paint, some stain, some stenciling,
Exactly.
and a piece of wood, you know. And when you're done, you feel so, I don't know, I guess you feel alive, right? Yeah, accomplished.
You feel accomplished, and it's a different feel. You open the door to your house, and you walk in, and you like what you see. It's not, it lifts you up. It doesn't drag you down.
Were you creative as a child?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I started sewing in 7th grade, and my mother sent me to sewing classes for years. So I've always made my own clothes, my own drapes, pillows, anything like that, cushion covers. So I've always had my hands busy working.
Wow. You know, when you put like crayons and paper and paint in front of children, you cannot stop them from being creative. I don't care who the child is. They're always creative like that. And somewhere along the line, I don't know what happens, you stop doing it. But not everybody does. You're a good example
Well,
of
yeah,
it.
exactly. Well, I think it's important as a parent to nurture. My daughter is a fine artist. She does portraiture. She also does book writing. But I nurtured that. I pushed her into taking workshops and classes.
Yeah.
And same with my son. He works with us at the store, my son. So he does a lot of the repairs.
Yeah.
He does a lot of the painting for customers. And I forgot to tell you that. So if you don't have the time, I tell people you can buy time. You can have us paint your furniture. So this coffee table, for instance, you could bring me a picture, bring me the dimensions, and I can give you a price on what it would cost for us to paint it. And then it comes back to your house, it's all done. And you go, hey, that looks really good. And I didn't have to do any of that.
So I could bring you a piece of furniture, a bureau, a table,
Yes.
a chair, and you could take it. Do you do reupholstering too?
No, I wish I did.
Yeah.
I would love to learn that.
But you could take like any kind of wood and make it look whatever the person wants. You stain
Yes.
it, paint it, design it, right?
Exactly, because we do predominantly paint with Annie Sloan chalk paint.
Yeah.
We don't do too much with anybody else. We do use some general finishes products. But we can replicate a technique if
Yeah.
you like it, if you can bring me some photographs, or we can just do straight painting, we can distress it. But if it has some damages to it, like the leg is wobbly or it's broken off, we can generally do some small repairs for you also.
Oh, excellent. So you work there with your...
My son Robert
Yeah.
and my husband Bob.
Okay.
And then Alexa works with us also, she's so creative, because she's a painter,
Yeah.
but she's like my right arm woman. She comes in and she helps me with all the merchandising, the pricing of the product. She also helps with decor. She does help me with the workshops. I also do custom wreaths for people.
Yeah.
So if you came to the store and you wanted a wreath for your door or your house, I can design that for you. They're all one of a kind. We do custom zip code pillows. Again, you come in, you let us know what you would like us to do, the zip code number, if you want it personalized with that individual's name, a date. We do all of those things that other big box stores don't do.
Excellent. Okay. So we're going to wrap up here. Tell us the name of your business again and where you're located.
Well, I'm Colleen, and our store is Brisonte Gifts and Home Decor. We're located in North Reading, Massachusetts, right on Main Street, next to the Verizon store.
Excellent. Thank you, Colleen. And I'm going to come in sometime, and we're going to do.
I would love that.
Is it a sign? What do you call it? Like what would it be if I came in and made a sign?
Oh, I just call it Ladies' Night Out, but we can do Guys' Night Out.
Yeah, well, guys' night out.
Yeah,
And I'll come
I like
in and do that. All right, Colleen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
You're
and
welcome.
now we've met.